Good morning. Happy Thursday. I will not be before you long. I just wanted to share this good news, this information, as everyone else this morning, sharing this information. So the news is saying, and not only the news, the President of the United States is saying that Brittney Griner has been released. And let me get the information for y'all. I want to read it from ESPN. So, Brittney Griner freed in the U.S. Russia prison exchange. Russia has freed Brittney Griner in a dramatic high-level prisoner release. If you're coming in, hello, good morning, good morning. I can't see the chat, so I'm going to just say good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming in. Please hit the like button. So, Russia has freed Brittney Griner in a dramatic high-level prisoner exchange that brings the NBA star back to the United States after almost 10 months in detention. The swap was made at a time of heightened tensions over invasions of Ukraine, achieved a top goal for President Joe Biden but carried a heavy price and left behind Paul Whelan, an American jailed for nearly 4 years in Russia. The deal, the second such exchange in 8 months with Russia, procured the release of the most prominent American detained abroad. Griner is a two-time Olympic gold medalist whose month-long imprisonment on drug charges brought unprecedented attention to the population of wrongful detainees. Biden's authorization to release notorious Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, once nicknamed the Merchant of Death, underscored the escalating pressure that his administration faced to get Griner home, particularly after the recent resolution of her criminal case and her subsequent transfer to penal colony. So again, she's home, and there's been press releases. I think the president spoke. Let me see, but I should have had this ready. But I think he already spoke. Yeah, let's hear just a little bit of it.
And she should have been there all along. This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hard-working public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release. I also want to thank the UAE for helping us facilitate Brittney's return, because that's where she landed. These past few months have been hell for Brittney and for Charlie and her entire family and all her teammates back home. People all across the country have learned about Brittney's story, advocated for her release, stood with her throughout this terrible ordeal. And I know that support meant a lot to her family. I'm glad to be able to say that Brittney's in good spirits. She's relieved of finally being home. And the fact remains that she's lost months of her life, experienced a needless trauma, and she deserves space, privacy, and time with her to recover and heal from her time being wrongfully detained. Brittney is an incomparable athlete, a two-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA. She endured mistreatment and a show trial in Russia with characteristic grit and incredible dignity. She represents the best America, the best about America. It is across the board, everything about her. She wrote to me back in July. She didn't ask for special treatment, even though we've been working on a release from the day one. She requested a simple quote, "Please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home." We never forgot about Brittney. We've not forgotten about Paul Whelan, who's been unjustly detained in Russia for years. This was not a choice of which American to bring home. We brought home Trevor Reed when we had a chance early this year. Sadly, for totally illegitimate reasons, Russia is treating Paul's case differently than Brittney's. And while we have not yet succeeded in securing Paul's release, we are not giving up. We will never give up. We remain in close touch with Paul's family, the Whelan family, and my thoughts and prayers are with them today. They have to have such mixed emotions today. And we'll keep negotiating in good faith for Paul's release. I guarantee that. I say that to the family. I guarantee you. And I urge Russia to do the same to ensure that Paul's health and humane treatment maintained until we are able to bring him home. I don't want any American to sit wrongfully detained and one extra day if we can bring that person home. My administration has now brought home dozens of Americans who were wrongfully detained or held hostage abroad, many of whom had been held since before I took office. And today we also remember the other Americans that are being held hostage and wrongfully detained in Russia or anywhere else in the world. Reuniting these Americans with their loved ones remains a priority for my administration, every person in my administration involved in this. We're going to continue to work to bring home every American who continues to endure such an injustice. We also want to prevent any more American families from suffering this pain and separation. And I strongly urge all Americans to take precautions, including reviewing the State Department's travel advisories before they travel overseas, which now includes warnings about the risk of being wrongfully detained by a foreign government. Make no mistake about it, this work is not easy. Negotiations are always difficult. There are never any guarantees, but it's my job as President of the United States to make the hard calls and protect American citizens everywhere in the world, anywhere in the world. And I'm proud that today we have made one more family whole again. So welcome home, Brittney. And now I'd like to invite Sherelle to say a few words to you all. Of course, she's not excited at all about this. Sherelle, it's all yours, kiddo. Congratulations again.
So, the lady who's about to speak, her name is Sherelle, and we'll talk about her later. But I want y'all to hear what she have to say.
So over the last 9 months, y'all have been so privy to one of the darkest moments of my life, and so today I'm.
Oh, it cut her off. So let me see if I can get it back. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Let me see if I can get it back. And again, for those coming in the chat, I cannot see the chat yet. God, I want to hear what she had to say, and I'm listening to it for the first time as I'm playing it for y'all, and so of course I want to hear what she had to say too. Doggone technology. So this is, y'all, I do Thankful Thursday every Thursday, and this is most definitely an awesome Thankful Thursday. I mean, to wake up to this news was just great for me. It was awesome for me. But I cannot. I'll probably put it in a short. What Sherelle said, I'll put that in the short. But we got the most important news of it, which is that she is free, and I'm assuming on her way home. Again, I just got this news and ran right to it. So let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Aisha, yes, God. Yes, what nice, thankful Thursday, isn't it? Hey, Tanya Renee. Hello, Mahogany Brown. Hey, Human Hysteria. Who else is in here? Corrine. Clara, thank you for coming in. Good morning. First time here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you coming. Frida, is this Fredia Ratney, Tammy Lynn. Good morning. Corinne, Clara, Corinne, Clara, I think I spoke. We're leaving up out of 2022 with a miracle. Amen. This is good. I feel like popping fireworks. Corinne, yes, this was such beautiful news to wake up to. And what I did, the pictures, when I was picking out my pictures this morning, I did not want to use any showing her behind bars, showing her looking downtrodden or upset. I purposely, yes, y'all, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. And if y'all notice, I am monetized, so you are welcome to send a super chat. Oh, stop that begging, Miss Cruiser. Stop that begging. And it says, okay, thanks for sharing my first time seeing this. Yes, I woke up this morning And the news said that, and I was like, ooh, I wanted to hear President Biden speaking, but I said, let me do it with other people who's going to be just as happy as me. Hey, Tanya Renee. Let me see. Mahogany Brown says she's coming home and she's being released, but this is a valuable lesson for every American. Thank you for saying that. I want to talk about that. This is a valuable lesson for every American thinking you can take substance abuse or narcotics over another country and not get caught or detained. Let me talk about that. As I sign in for work. Yeah, one of the things that President Biden said at the end of his message before he brought Sherelle up. And what is Sherelle's last name, y'all? If y'all could tell me in the chat, give me some information in the chat, please. So when you go out of the country, and y'all know I love to travel. I don't just cruise. I like to travel straight out of the country. Or sometimes I go by cruising, but sometimes I go directly over to the country. One of the things that I keep in mind when I go to another country is to read everything that's going on, all of the warnings and high warnings and threats and things before I go to that country. I don't care whether it's Mexico, I don't care whether it's the Dominican, well, I haven't been to Dominican yet, or whether it's Jamaica, which I've been to twice this year. I'm going to read what's going on concerning safety. And so we should always, and not only, we want to read their rules. Make sure you read. Listen, when I go to another state, I be trying to read their rules because sometimes I travel with my firearm. So I want to know what their rules are for me traveling, and you can do that by airplane and car, because you just check it at the airport. And when you get off your plane, you go pick it up like you pick up your bags. But I always read the rules because I don't want to break a law over there. And I'm going to tell you, out of the country is not a place to break a law. Because you do not want to get detained out of the country because you're at that country's mercy. And President Biden made it clear it's hard to get you out. He almost said it like how you talking to your children. Now don't you go over there and get in trouble because we'll say I ain't putting my house up for you, but then I go on to tell my kids just in case they don't believe me. Look, some things Mama can't get you out of. You don't want to go get into that because some things Mama cannot get you out of. So that was a very good speech from President Biden, and as he said, they're doing this. Not, I guess, in any particular order. There's other people that needs to, get out of countries that's detained, and so that's very. I'm gonna go back and listen to what he has to say again, but yeah. Exactly, Mahogany Brown. You absolutely must do your research before you leave the United States on vacation, business overseas. And even if you're on a cruise, like I said, I fly straight over to somewhere, but even on a cruise, before I while Tootsie my hips up off that vessel, I know what country I'm going into. I know their rules and all of that. I make sure I know how far not to go off that port or in that immediate area, and how far I can go. I don't go, I stay. I remember we went to Montego Bay, and the gentleman that dropped us off at the resort we were staying in, we flew in to Montego Bay, and the resort we were staying in, he before he let us out that car, he said, y'all see how high those walls are, and there's a gate when you come through. He said there's going to always be people standing at that gate yelling at you, trying to, let me take you here, you want to buy something, you want to do. He said stay within the confines unless you with a tour guide. You do not want to be rolling around Jamaica, unaccompanied, without help, going into places you ain't got no business. And he said do not go into Kingston. That was the last thing he said to us before he put our bags in that resort. He said, do not go to Kingston. And guess what I did? I did not go to Kingston. I ain't asked him why. I ain't say, why he didn't really give us a chance to ask why, but why we can't go to. He said don't go. I found out later why it was best for us not to go, but I'm just saying I took his advice. He lived over there. He was our guide. He was the one that was dropping us off from the airport, and he was the one that came back and checked on us, and he was going to be the one that was going to take us back to the airport. So I'm just using that as an example that wherever you go, make sure you know where you are. You know their rules. You know their laws. You know what is prohibited. You know what the risky places are, but don't. Kingston rough. Kingston is like rough tough. It's some Jamaicans that don't go into Kingston themselves that live there. No, they don't go into Kingston. And I know some people like Kingston as a tourist spot. But yeah, Kingston is real rough. So that's why. Catherine, hey, I think I already said good morning. Catherine Clara said, I used to walk into Mexico just to move from El Paso after 6 years. Girl, El Paso, I was so glad when my sister-in-law, she was stationed in the El Paso area, and I hated her being there, cause that's another area that's a rough little area. I hated when she was there, but yeah, a lot of people just like to go on over into Mexico, and they like to go on over into like people live close to Canada, cross over the border, but you got to know, like I said, you got to know uh, the rules and things before you do that. But again, what better news? What better news on this? And I always do, for those of you who don't know, who are first time to my channel, on Thursdays, I always do a Thankful Thursday, reminding myself and reminding others while we should yet be thankful in spite of all that we're going through. This girl has been detained for 10 months. 10 months in Russia. And Russia is in battle with the Ukraine. What any worse time to be detained over there? And it just seems like is she gonna stay? Is she gonna get out? Is she gonna have to do all this time? Is she okay over there? And so you know sometimes it's hard to find things to be thankful about, especially if you're going through something like this. But this is just a reminder once again that God can deliver us out of any situation, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is. So we have to remember to be thankful in spite of all that we go through. So yeah, that's a good Thankful Thursday. I'm still trying to find some information, y'all. Give me a minute. And everybody's, I'm not the only one. Everybody's talking about this morning, rightfully. Hold on, let me see if I can get this video back. I don't know why it got just cut off on me like that. Hold on.
The WNBPA, for your advocacy. And also, you guys may not know this, but my family has been tremendously supported by the Washington agency. BG's agent, Lindsay Colas, has just been amazing for me and my family throughout this process. So today my family is whole, but as you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole. And so BG's not here to say this, but I will.
Why it got just cut off on me like that? Sorry, out of my video. Did it to me again. There it is.
And say that BG and I will remain committed to the work of getting every American home, including Paul, whose family is in our hearts today. As we celebrate BG being home, we do understand that there are still people out here who are enduring what I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones. So thank you everybody for your support. And today is just a happy day for me and my family. So I'm gonna smile right now. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Mr. Griner, what do you say to the Whalen family? When will Brittney be back in the U.S.?
So they're asking him when will Brittney be officially back in the U.S. there are people in the chat of this of his speech that's asking why wasn't Paul brought home, why they chose to bring her home, and not Paul and not both. After he's explained that this is a process, and it's not an easy process, and so it's not like they particularly choosing one over the other. It's just not, it's just a hard thing. I'm just trying to send myself a picture so y'all can see who it was that was speaking. We'll see it in a minute, and I'm gonna see what y'all saying in the chat, and then we're gonna end this video. Y'all know I don't be on long. I don't be on real long. I ain't gonna hold you long like a Baptist preacher. So that's Sherelle that was speaking, and y'all know President Biden was speaking earlier, and in that same press conference, you have the vice president is also there. So just a great day, just great news to wake up to. And her name is Sherelle Griner, who you see on the screen there. That's Sherelle. So I guess that's it. I guess that's all. Y'all know who Sherelle is, right? Everybody know who Sherelle is? Let me show y'all a nice little picture of Brittney and Sherelle, or BG as they call her. I think I can do it. Let me see if I'm able to do it before I leave. So some people, they're gonna complain that, why is she home and not Paul and just different other things. But y'all, listen. Did I get it? Did I get it? I should have had these ready. Some pictures of Brittney and Sherelle. Let me see here. But I'm sure y'all know who Sherelle is. Bless her heart. She can stop worrying now. That had to be torture. Can you imagine your loved one being detained like that? Okay. Hopefully I get it this time. So y'all can see. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Yeah, she did look good. She's a pretty girl. So that's Brittney and Sherelle Griner. That is Brittney's, or as they call her, BG. I didn't know they called her BG, but that's her wife. Good morning, exclusively me. Who else is in here? Yeah, that's her wife. Is that the only picture I got of them? Okay, that's the only one. All right, so anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all up anymore because, like I said, I know there's other people that's probably also talking about this and reporting on this, and I want y'all to be able to hear what other people have to say too. And I got to do my Thankful Thursday. So this is Miss Cruiser. If you come to my chat, if you're here this morning or hearing the replay for the first time, and first time to my channel, check it out. Check out this channel. Check out Miss Cruiser 2 TOO. I have two channels, Miss Cruiser 2 TOO, and check out this channel. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And there's also, I got the little thank you. You can hit the little thank you button and be a blessing to this channel if that's what you want to do. And like and share. So please subscribe, like, and share. This is Miss Cruiser. Thank you for coming in. Have a great Thursday and a great weekend if I don't talk to you again.